What is up everyone, today I'll be showing you why triple dark poison is a legitimate strategy in the Willpower Cup. These Pokemon are just incredibly flexible with very few actual hard counters. The only ones really being Toxicroak, Lucario, maybe Pawniard, Crocodile and Tyranitar, but against those last three, they already have a ton of play. And you're really not gonna run into them that often. So it is worth the risk because you have a lot of play versus every other team. As far as which dark poisons are the best, I don't think it really matters, but I would highly suggest you go with the ones that have the most coverage. Going for an Alolan Grimer or Muk, I don't think is a great idea because they only have dark and poison moves. Whereas Skuntank, Qwilfish or Overqwil and Drapion over there have coverage moves with Aqua Tail and Flamethrower. We'll talk more about the movesets during the battles, but for now we're just gonna head in. This first game I lead into a Toxicroak, which is absolutely terrible for this team, of course. I have no answers. Honestly, usually when you face Toxicroak, it's just gonna be a loss. And that's honestly fine, because you're not gonna see Toxicroak in even half your matches, so it's okay to lose these. They're not impossible though. They're definitely not impossible. Toxicroak is quite squishy, so with teamwork you can play around it. Look at how much work this Drapion has already done versus Toxicroak. Taken a shield, brought it to yellow health, and they're gonna have to use another move to take me out here before I get to my Aqua Tail. Drapion has done his job, I'll let it go, and now we're gonna farm down with Skuntank here. This will be a nice farm down. I'll get some nice energy here, but I will have to use my final shield as well to take out this Toxicroak. So not great, still not in a good spot. They bring in their own Skuntank here, which is also not great, since I'm now in Flamethrower range basically. And I don't really want to switch in my Qwilfish just yet, because I don't want to make that very low health too. They're gonna throw a move here. There's probably a Flamethrower that will knock me out. No, only a Crunch. I live. I switch into my Qwilfish. I should be able to get to an Aqua Tail here before they get to the move. Unfortunately, I lagged a little bit there when I switched in, so I wasn't able to fire off the Aqua Tail before they fired a Crunch, which is very unfortunate. But now I do get a very nice farm with my Qwilfish. What comes in? Probably their Toxicroak again, maybe? No, it is a Shadow Drapion. They are running Toxicroak double dark poison versus my triple dark poison. Which is stronger, double dark poison or triple dark poison? We're about to find out. I should have really thrown the Aqua Tail on CMP Tire, hoping they throw their Aqua Tail immediately, because that gives me a chance to go for the Flamethrower. They shoot up my second one though, which is great for me. I'm only 1 or 2 poison jabs away from Flamethrower. If I can reach it, I might be able to win this game. We get to the Flamethrower on the CMP tie here, which Skuntank does win versus Drapion. It takes it out. Can we farm down the Toxicroak as well? We can, and we beat the Toxicroak lead. GG's. Full disclosure, that was the only Toxicroak I beat all night. All the other Toxicroaks I lost against. But that's okay, because they were in less than half the matches, and all the other matches I honestly could have won. So I still do believe in this team. Anyway, next game we face a Drapion lead, which my Skuntank and my Drapion are better against, or my Qwilfish and my Drapion are better against than Skuntank, since Skuntank gets to the coverage moves very slow. So I decided to switch in my Qwilfish. Out comes a Grimer now. They're running double dark poison as well. Could this be another triple dark poison by the opponent? We'll see, I guess. I bring out my Drapion, because I can get to my Aqua Tail pretty soon. I'm gonna throw a Sludge Bomb first though. I think if you're running triple dark poison, like I said earlier, you want to run something with more coverage. But Grimer is nice too. Like if you don't have a Qwilfish, go Grimer, it's fine as well. I really thought Drapion won CMP against Grimer, but it doesn't. Grimer is actually kind of attack weighted. Drapion loses CMP, and that ends up being a huge mistake. If I just threw that before the move, I could have saved my shield, which would have been really nice. In fact, would have probably actually won the game if I did that. So big mistake by me, but definitely a good learning moment. Drapion loses CMP there. To make matters worse, their Drapion doesn't even get knocked out by this Aqua Tail, so it's able to fire off an Aqua Tail versus my Skuntank. And yes, they do have another dark poison in the back in their own Skuntank. So this is pretty bad. They're gonna fire off a move in a second, and because I didn't throw my Aqua Tail before the CMP earlier, and I had to use a shield, I cannot shield this. Because if I shield this, they're just gonna farm me down and throw 2 crunches at my Drapion. So yeah, I know it's over, and I just let myself get farmed down there. GG's. Drapion lead. Yeah, dark poisons really are everywhere. They're running Ice Fang though, which is insane. Honestly, that's maybe something you could consider running on your own Drapion too. It becomes like a premier Mandibuzz answer there. With Poison Sting, Sludge Bomb, it's like very alright versus Mandibuzz, but not really that great. With Ice Fang, I think you probably destroy Mandibuzz. It's also quite good versus other Dark Poisons as your Soul, because put my Quillfish quite low. I still managed to get to the Aqua Tail though, which they caught on their own Quillfish. Is this another triple Dark Poison? Yeah, Dark Poisons are everywhere. Honestly, I don't like Toxicroak in this meta, because I thought there was going to be a lot of Mandibuzz and Cresselia, which, well, Toxicroak just sucks against. But seeing how many Dark Poisons there are, I get that people are running it. Anyway, they sludged, which is an interesting move on Quillfish, I think. But, you know, Sludge does make you a lot better for something like Mandibuzz, so I definitely don't hate it. I have a Victini in the back as well, which might seem good since I'm a Dark type, but this thing is so spammy and I'm not doing like super effective with my fast moves that this is still quite scary, as they'll probably be able to get to 3 V-Creates before I can farm them down. They catch the crunch on their Drapion, which I honestly was fine with, because, well, knocking this out is pretty good. At this point, I might actually make a mistake, because I end up shielding... Oh, I don't shield actually. Oh, I shielded earlier. Yeah, my shield earlier might have been a mistake. Because this Victini now farms me down. Basically has 2 V-Creates right now, which I throw. Luckily, though, I was 1 Poison Sting away from the Aqua Tail, which means I CMP Titus here. If I wasn't 1 away, I think I threw that game by shielding my Skuntank earlier instead of just trying to sweep a Drapion. But yeah, we win, so I guess it really doesn't matter. GG. Umbreon lead, this is fine. I'm just gonna stay in here with Skuntank. Ideally, I have Drapion on Umbreon or Mandibuzzes, since that's kind of my best answer, because I'm running Poison Sting, Sludge Bomb. That's actually exactly why I'm running Sludge Bomb as well, so I have Crunch. I think Crunch in this format is kind of redundant, especially in a triple Dark team. Do I really need more Dark coverage? I don't think so. I'd rather have Sludge Bomb, so I can hit Umbreons and Mandibuzz a little harder, because as you can see, my Skuntank, even though I put in some work versus Umbreon, the flamethrower damage just is kind of disappointing. Like a Sludge Bomb would be much better there. But I do definitely need flamethrower for something like Ponyard. So that's why flamethrower on Skuntank and then Sludge on Drapion to get some extra poison damage versus Dark types. Anyway, speaking of Dark types, Charm Liepard. Bye-bye. In comes Umbreon now. We're just gonna Aqua Tail. I'm thinking it's probably double poison at this, or double charm at this point, which means I'm just gonna shield this move. Whenever you get the feeling there's another like high fast move pressure Pokemon in the back, just shield whatever moves they're throwing. Even though Foul Play wouldn't have done that much, I need to preserve health because I'm expecting another Charmer in the back. And it does end up being a Charm Galite. They no-shield that move very wisely because it's only an Aqua Tail, which means I now have to get the 2 moves instead of just 1 Sludge to knock out this Galite since I still have a shield. But even though I'm Shadow Drapion, I should still be able to survive the Charms to get the 2 here, and we definitely will. Actually, over farm here, you know, whenever you face a double Charmer, you gotta show them who's boss, of course, and go for the big move, even though it's extremely unnecessary. Just a bit of BM right here. GG trainer. I know there's gonna be some people mad about that in the comments, but deal with it, alright? That's what I do. Alright, that's what I do. Don't like it? It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, another Toxicroak lead. I throw the Aqua Tail with Drapion. Again, if you see Toxicroak lead, just switch to Drapion because it's much better versus Toxicroak than Skuntank. So, yes, that's why. The switching is wireless now. I'll go for the Sludge Bomb. This is also why I have Sludge. I already threw the Aqua Tail. There's no way they think I have Sludge, so they're gonna no-shield. Huh? They shielded? Are you kidding me? I was so pissed. I was so pissed. That's unbelievable. I can't believe they saw that coming. But, I mean, great play by my opponent there. Realizing that I'm running Aqua Tail Sludge, I guess, instead of Aqua Tail Crunch, the standard moveset. But yeah, very annoying. At this point, though, I'm not feeling too bad. If I can farm down this Wireless, I'll have 2 Crunches loaded to throw the Toxicroak. And then hopefully my Quillfish can sweep whatever's in the back. This Wireless lives on 1 HP. It lives on 1 HP. Are you kidding me? That's unfortunate. So I'm forced to bring out my Quillfish. In comes the Toxicroak here. They will get off a Mid Bomb. Not before I got off the Aqua Tail though. I think my opponent ends up letting this go and showing me the 3rd. Oh, they don't let it go. Ooh. They're gonna throw the mid-bomb here though. I think we are gonna see the third though. I think I could have won this match if I would have been able to farm down this wireless. Yeah, they show the third. If I would have been able to farm down this wireless, I might have been able to win that match because I would have been able to double crunch the Toxicroak, and then my Drapion would have been against Drapion on the back, so I might have been able to win that. Anyway, we see a mirror lead. Why am I not switching? Against Drapion, I keep switching out into Quillfish. Honestly, against Skuntank, I probably should as well, because my Dark Poisons in the back are better against Skuntank than my own Skuntank. So, honestly, I probably should have switched. Also, I threw double crunch to a Flamethrower, kind of expecting a shield there. That's why I did that. But even if they no shield as you saw, you still win the zeros against if they Flamethrower. So, that was ultimately a good play. Bring out a Drapion here, just stay in, let myself get farmed down. Their chip is kind of valuable, as 2 Aqua Tails like barely don't knock out. Or like an Aqua Tail plus a Sludge Bomb barely doesn't knock out. So getting that little bit of chip in with Poison Jabs is quite nice. This is also, well, Crunch will be fine here too. Both Crunch and Sludge Bomb do slightly more than Aqua Tail on Dark Poisons. Even though you're throwing resistance instead of neutral, there's stronger moves. So I throw a Sludge, hoping to kill the Drapion, but they actually switch in Metacham, which is huge! They were expecting an Aqua Tail, so they no-shielded. But it was a Sludge and hit him quite hard. It brought him into a range where I can probably farm it down with Quillfish now. Metacham is, by the way, why I'm running Shadow Ball on Quillfish, because this team can kind of struggle with it. So having that, well, that nuke potential, I was going to say one-shot potential, it doesn't one-shot, but it does do a lot of damage, so that nuke potential with Quillfish is quite nice. But the more battles I've done with this team, the more I realize you might actually want to go with Ice Beam instead, because that helps you a lot with Mandibuzz. And honestly, I've barely seen any Metacham. So I'm thinking Ice Beam might actually be the way to go to hit Mandibuzzes and opposing Dark Poisons for more damage. Anyway. Bye-bye, Drapion. We win another game. GG's! Talk about Mandibuzz. Here it is. In the lead. Versus my Skuntank. We're just gonna stay in there. Of course, gonna throw Flamethrowers. I'm actually not too sure. I think Skuntank is just a little better here than Quillfish. Why I'm staying in, of course. I'm also a little tankier than Quillfish. So I'm taking these aerial aces easier, and I should be able to get to 2 Flamethrowers. Just switching a Quillfish here, I'm just gonna respond with a Flamethrower before switching out into my own or my Drapion. Yeah, switching to Drapion, since Drapion is just a little spammier than Quillfish with Poison Jab, so that's why switching it. And like an Aqua Tail knocks out anyway. I don't need the extra fast move pressure of Poison Jab here. I'm gonna no-shield this, just an Aqua Tail. Just an Aqua Tail. Nope, Ice Beam. This is where I got the idea of Ice Beam, perhaps. So look at how much damage I did. That's definitely worth it. That's definitely worth it. So that's why I would suggest maybe to run Ice Beam. Unless you're seeing a bunch of Metacham, then Shadow Ball is still the way. It really depends on what you're seeing in this meta. It still has to develop a bit, of course. So it's hard to call really what's the way to go right now. Anyway, they bring out Mandibuzz once again. It's going to stay in with Quill. They're not on Aqua Tail range just yet, so there's no point in throwing it. Again, I'm just going to farm up until they're in Aqua Tail range, which they are at right now. They were there earlier, but I thought I might as well just get a couple extra Poison Jabs in to get some more energy for whatever's in the back. A Claydol. Ooh, interesting. All right, Claydol is a problem. Is a big problem for this team. Maybe if I can get to that Shadow Ball here, I can kill it. So I actually switched out there since I knew it was going to die, and now I just don't get the Shadow Ball off. It wouldn't have killed though. It only does like 64%, so it didn't really matter. GG right there. And here it is, Lucario. This Pokemon is impossible to deal with. This is honestly just top left the match. If you see this in the lead, honestly, if you see this in the lead, go Drapion first off, because you're spammier with your charge moves. But also, just exit. It's over. And it's also a very fun Pokemon. After this battle, I ran a team with Lucario of my own, and it is a monster. That'll be tomorrow's video, so if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Good luck with your battles, trainers.